Nobody is quite sure why the Song of Solomon is in the Bible, as it contains words of passionate, romantic love of one person for another, and it never once mentions God. But one passage in particular has proven very popular to use in weddings. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Friday, June 10th, 2022. All this week, I'm reading passages we commonly use in wedding services. As I mentioned on Monday, it's probably because I've done 2 weddings in the last 3 weeks, including the wedding of our older daughter. I always think about the meaning of love and what it takes to stay married over the course of a long lifetime when I do weddings. One of the most often used passages comes from the Old Testament, and it is to this passage that we turn today. Read through the Song of Solomon, and you may be in for a surprise. Read it aloud in a mixed group, and you may blush. On the face of it, it's a piece of passionate poetry, complete with descriptions of physical beauty. Many interpreters have read it as an allegory of the passionate love of God for God's people. Others have been content to read it at face value, as a celebration of the love between a man and a woman. Of all the passages about love in the Bible that are most commonly read at weddings, this one stands alone as the only one that really is about romantic love. You've certainly heard the passage before, but here it is. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, a raging flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If one offered for love all the wealth of one's house, it would be utterly scorned. Ah, we have finally found love that sounds passionate. Up to now, we've been reading texts whose context is the community of faith and how to live together in some semblance of unity. But here in the Song of Solomon, we have a text that, at least on the face of it, is about romantic love. Now, those who wish only to see this as an allegory for God's passionate love for God's people underestimate the importance of reading this book and this text as concerning actual love, including sexual desire. For the Bible often does something we might have done differently. It understands and affirms the goodness of actual physical existence, including the desire of human beings for one another. This passage, however, doesn't focus on the reality of desire, though that is certainly the subtext. Rather, this passage deals with the importance of the commitments we make to one another as a result of our passion for one another. It's not just passion for passion's sake, it's passion and commitment united. And that's what's important for using this passage in a wedding service. So let's break it down a little. We tend to focus on the 2 times in the passage that use the word love. Love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave, and many waters cannot quench love. But the most important line is at the beginning. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. We don't use seals quite the same way anymore, but a seal was a kind of stamp that, when given, made something permanent and official. In a sense, it would be a sort of combination of a modern-day marriage license and wedding ring all rolled into one. The one speaking here is clearly filled with passion for her lover, but not just passion, fully committed. You can see why this passage makes good sense to use in a wedding. It captures both the passionate part of love and the lifelong commitment marriage entails. No free love here. This is about going all in. No hesitations, no reservations, no caveats. You can also see why this passage, along with the entire book, also works as an allegory for the love of God for God's people. All in, passionate, committed, just as God is completely committed to us. But after all, that's what love is. A full and complete commitment of one's whole self to another and to the other's well-being. Tomorrow, we return to the New Testament, this time to one of the most familiar passages in the whole Bible. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.